"I declare it's darker than the inside of a dead man's boot out here," exclaimed Dad Clawson. "It ain't dark over here by the fire," countered Dad's younger cow-punching partner, Pete Driscoll. "No, but it sure is dark out here." Dad, a short, bandy-legged, gray-bearded man in a bullet-crowned cream Stetson that had seen far better days a good 20 years ago, stood at the edge of the firelight, holding back a pine branch as he surveyed the night-cloaked Bear Paw Mountain rangeland beyond him. "If you've become afraid of the dark in your old age, Dad, why don't you come on over here by the fire, take a load off and pour a cup of coffee? I made a fresh pot, thick as day old cow plop, just like you like it. I'll even pour some of my Who Hit John in it if you promise to stop caterwauling like you're about to be set upon by wolves." Dad stood silently, scowling off into the star-capped distance. Turning his head a little to one side, he asked quietly, in a raspy voice, "Did you hear that?" "Hear what?" "That." Dad turned his head a little more to one side. "There it was again." Driscoll, a tall, lean man in his mid-30s and with a thick, dark-red mustache mantling his upper lip, stared across a steaming tin cup he held in both hands before him, pricking his ears, listening. A sharpened matchstick drooped from one corner of his mouth. "I didn't hear a thing." Dad turned his craggy, bearded face toward the younger man, frowning. "You didn't?" "Not a dadgum thing, Dad." Driscoll glowered at his partner from beneath the broad rim of his black Stetson. He'd been paired with Clawson for over 5 years, since they'd both started working at the Stevens Kitchen Sink Ranch on Owlhoot Creek. In that time, they'd become as close as some old married couples, which meant they fought as much as some old married couples. "What's gotten into you? I've never known you to be afraid of the dark before." "I don't know." Dad gave his head a quick shake. "Something's got my blood up." "What is it?" Dad glowered over his shoulder at Driscoll. "If I knew that, my blood wouldn't be up, now would it?" Driscoll blew ripples on his coffee and sipped. "I think you got old-timer's disease, that's what I think." He sipped again, swallowed. "Hearing things out in the dark, getting your jaws in a twist." Dad stood, listening, staring out into the night. The stars shone brightly, guttering like candles in distant windows and small houses across the arching vault of the firmament. Finally, he released the pine bough. It danced back into place. He turned and, scowling and shaking his head, ambled back over to the fire. His spurs chinged softly. On a flat, pale rock near the dancing orange flames, his speckled tin coffee pot, which owned the dent of a bullet fired long ago by some cow-thieving Comanche bushwhacker in the Texas Panhandle, gurgled and steamed.